everybody. Today I'm working on the street light again. I picked up some progressive heavy duty springs for the front, as well as a rebuild kit for both sides. Here is the part number. You're going to need 2. I only do 1, and some oil. I was so happy with the way the back worked out, I decided that I needed to get them for the front. So we're going to start the installation tonight. I don't think I'm going to finish, but here we go. See if I can get this off without taking everything else apart. Maybe. Nope. Just need a little bit. Once you get that out of the way, there's the connector up there. They're for your aux switches if you have one. I already undid this side. I'm gonna go undo the other side and I'll be right back. Alright, so that piece I just took out, this guy, pretty sure you can get it out if the bike isn't on a lift and you can turn the handlebars. You can get it out without taking this piece off, but I didn't think that far ahead, but there you go. Keep going. Alright, not too bad up until this point. This is what we look like. Front tire forks, or front tire is off, obviously. One thing to note, your ABS wheel speed sensor right here, these the bearings are, I guess, directional. So I marked, you see the difference in the bearing right there. So I marked it so I know that side corresponds to that red mark. Next up, I'm going to take my calipers and measure the distance right here that's hanging out so I can put it back together in the same way. See if I can get in there and measure that. Alright, keep going. Alright, so I marked, I don't know if you're able to see it. The light's too bright. I marked the fork with a permanent marker there, a real thin red one. Both of them measured a hair under 4 millimeters, so when it goes back together, I'll just put it out 4 millimeter. I'm going to loosen up the 2 pinch bolts, and you can't see. I'm going to go ahead and loosen up the 2 pinch bolts right there, the 1 pinch bolt right there, and see if I can slide this fork out. See what happens. Oh, oh boys. Come on, girl. Come on. There she is. 1 fork out. This one's actually not leaking, but it's pretty dirty. So we're gonna clean it up and get taking it apart. We're gonna see how nasty this fluid is. The bike has 70K on it. I don't know if it's ever been serviced, but here we go. Ugh. Here's a quick comparison on the springs. That joker's about 6 inches longer than the stock spring. Alright, ran into my first issue. I've never had this problem before where I don't have the correct tool. But if you can see, you can't see. So there's this screw down inside the fork for the damper rod. And it's supposed to look like that. Except for I can't fit the socket down there. So what I'm going to do is try to tap this out of the end and then use a regular socket on it. Alright, I think we're good. I got the bit portion out of that socket. I'm going to use a regular deep socket to make myself an extended hex socket. And here we go. Out. and set this aside and get the fork seal out. Alright, I'm going to get that little retainer out. You can see it right there. Just use a flathead, pop it out. There we go, retaining ring. And there's a new one of these in the kit, so it's basically trash. Alright, I'm going to cheat getting these seals out. I clamped it back into the bike, and I'm going to try to tap the lower leg off with a rubber mallet. Ta-da! There we go. We got one other part. That little doodad. And we're empty. Actually, doesn't look terrible. But we're going to go ahead and replace everything since we're here anyway. I'm going to go ahead and get these old bushings and seal off. Just going to take a flathead in here and turn it a little bit. There we go. There we go. Set those aside. Slide off our old seal. And now I'm going to clean everything up and get it prepared to get reassembled. Don't forget to get the copper bushing or copper washer out of there. Alright, I forgot to hit record when I installed the bushings, but real easy to do. They just kind of slide up top, slide over the fork tube. Alright, now we're going to replace our little Teflon castle looking bushing guy from the new one in the kit. So let's trash. New one. I'm going to replace our O-ring on our fork cap. Put some oil on there. And set that aside. So I'm going to go ahead and clean that crustiness out of there. Alright, got as much crud out as I possibly could. I don't know if you can see that, but the inside lip here was all dirty. Cleaned it out. So now we're going to continue on. I'm going to apply a little bit of blue Loctite in the threads here. I'm going to apply some RTV to the threads. I'm going to apply some RTV to the threads of the damper bolt. And then this copper washer has a smooth side and a rough side. I'm going to put the smooth side. The smooth side's going to be up. It's going to be like that. Hopefully it'll help it seal, bite into the aluminum a little bit better. Alright, got a pretty decent gob of white RTV on there, courtesy of John Deere. So we're going to go ahead and take our damper, drop it into our fork tube. I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to take our lower stop here, slide it on, and see if I can just slide the slider on this way so I'm not fighting with it. So let's see what happens. I think we're doing pretty good here. So I think next I'm gonna get the seal driven in, and then time to add some oil to it. So what I'm using here to do the seal is a piece of 2-inch PVC pipe I picked up from Lowe's. Looks like it's going to work perfect. So we're going to just gently drive home this seal. Alright, we've got it in enough so we can get our little retainer in. Pop that guy in and we'll be in good shape. So reading through the manual, it says to push the tube down and fill it up to almost the top with oil. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So then it says to pump it up and down 10 times slowly. It also says to compress the damper by threading a rod into it, but I don't have whatever hell rod it is. Alright, got a small problem, but I figured it out. So I dumped a whole bottle of fork oil in there, 16 ounces. The parts guy at the Harley Davidson dealer said it was going to take like 9 or 11 ounces per side. So he sold me 2 bottles of fork oil. So reading, which was my fault, I should have read through the instructions better. The instructions say dump a slight amount more than 24 ounces in there and then do the measure. So I only have enough oil to maybe do 1 fork tube tonight. I'm gonna have to run back out to the dealer tomorrow and get more oil. So I'm gonna finish up this one side and then I guess I'm forced to be done for the night. Alright, so I don't have the tool that Harley wants you to get. So what I did is I marked the I got a pneumatic brake bleeder. I marked it at 107 millimeter, dipped it down to that mark, and then vacuumed it out. And that's it. Now I just have to run to the dealer tomorrow and get more oil. I'm going to go ahead and slide the spring, or actually, we need to cut down the spacer. So Progressive does away with this stock spacer tube, and they include the PVC guy. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I used it in my Sportster and it was fine. They also include a list of bikes and what you got to cut the spacer down to. For my bike, the 2015 FLH XS. So right here, 2015 or 2014, 2016, 2.62, which the closest fraction to that was 2 5/8. So that's what I'm going to cut the tubes down to. 2 5/8. So now I'm just going to use that. So I'm going to score the spacer and cut it. Make sure you cut it as square as possible too. So I'm going to get to work on that. Alright, so this is my stopping point for tonight. I've got the right side fork all reassembled. There is my new spring in it. Spacers cut, new O-ring on the plug. I need oil, that's it. So I'm gonna go in and I'll see you in the morning. Alright, we're back. I went to the dealer, got some more oil. Last night, looking at the instructions, I assembled this fork wrong. I don't know if it's going to make a difference, but I put this washer supposed to go in between the spacer and the spring. I dropped it down first and put the spring over it. I don't know if it's going to matter, but I'm going to take it apart because it's not right. But I'm going to go ahead and assemble this fork and then pop that one out. Alright, we're wrapped up with the forks. Just got to put everything back together. But I did take this guy apart, flip the washer around. All in all, it wasn't too bad. It's something you can definitely do at home. So I'm going to put the rest of the bike back together. Alright, we're all back together. I will put the torque specifications down in the description. This pertains to probably 14 to 16 touring models. Alright, so I took the bike out for a quick ride, and I knew it was going to be a bit better, but the difference was drastic. I probably could have gotten away with using the standard weight oil instead of the heavy, but it's done. I'm 100% happy with it. Best $100 I've spent. And that's it. Catch you on the next one.